Hi, so today's video is going to be all about my palettes. I've been wanting to do this video for quite a while because I have a lot of palettes. I have a lot of palettes to talk about because to me the most exciting thing that a makeup obsessed person can buy is a palette, because it's just all the colours are just so exciting. So I'm going to talk through all of my palettes today, which ones I would recommend, which ones I love, which ones are not so good, and yeah, so let's get started. I'm going to start with these two palettes, and these are from Urban Decay. These are the Vice palettes. I haven't got the first one and I haven't got the most recent one because I believe there's 4. I remember wanting to get the first one and I went to go and get it and they was like, no, we don't do it anymore, we have the second one. So I was like, right, okay, I'll get the second one. So this is the second one. What was great about the second one when it came out was the magic opening lid. That was a bit stupid. I'll just show you again. So this palette, I think it comes with 20 shades, and to be honest I don't really use it. When I first got it I loved it, but the thing is with the Vice palettes, they're very colourful. So if you like colour then go for it, if you don't bother. So you get, in each palette you get quite a good choice of colours. So this one you've got some blues, some pinks, some purples, some shades that I do really like, because within the palette there's always wearable shades, it's not just pure bright colours. So just show you this shade here, Stash, I think it's called, yeah, Stash, stunning shade. It's like a greeny gold, I love that colour. In fact, I want to use that soon. Looks like, it's just a stunning shade. It's really unique as well because I've never really had a shade like that. Some other really nice shades are Prank. Prank's really unique because it's like a navy blue, but it's got like little blue glitter. That is what Prank looks like. It's so unique. That is the deal with the Vice palettes. They're going to offer you really unique colours, but a neutral bit of, you know, pops of colours, and it, you know, they want you to lean towards going a little bit more colourful with your eyes. The second one, probably would say this is a little bit more wearable. Sadly it doesn't have the sexy opening, so we'll just do it ourselves. I don't know why they got rid of it because it was something that everyone really liked when it came out. But this one, this palette when it came out, it was drawn to me straight away for this row here because I love like cranberry, copper colours. So there's some really nice shades in this palette. Again, they've gone with some greens, some blues, some pinks. But then there's this really nice row of like matte browns, there's some golds in the middle, purple, and then this side is like kind of cool tone neutral. So this, I would say this is the best Vice palette that came out. Not drawn to the new one because it's just too colourful for me. So I'll just show you a few of these. The colours are really pigmented and, you know, it's standard Urban Decay quality, really pigmented, buttery ash. Staying on colourful Urban Decay palettes, this is the Electric palette. I'm just going to say straight up, I don't use this, I never use it. I was drawn in straight away by the bright colours because at the time of seeing it I did like to use a bit of blue, a bit of green, a bit of purple, but you don't actually understand how bright these shades are. There is some really nice shades to work with. I think they did say that this is more of a kind of a palette that you would use alongside another palette, so you would use your normal shadows and then you take a dip into one of these. Some of my favourites are Fringe, I really like Fringe, and I actually use this shade here, which is like a matte. Well, it's not matte, but when you use it it's matte because it's only got fine glitter chunks in. And it's the shade Chaos, and I love using that for blue liner because I think blue liner can look really nice, like a nice blue wing. So that is the Electric palette. Very colourful. If you don't use colour then this is a no for you. If you're wanting to, you know, if you want bright colourful looks, this is the palette for you. If you're wanting to experiment with a little bit of colour here and there, this probably isn't because it's very bright, and you know, they're not the easiest shades to work with. When you use them they're very in your face. And that is Jilted, Fringe and Chaos. Sticking with Urban Decay, I'm going to go into the very famous, very talked about, very loved Naked palettes. I don't have the second one because I never really felt like the second one was something that I would need or use because I don't really use the first and third really that much. The first one is, if you're going to go for a naked palette, hands down go for this one. You're going to get the most wear out of it. It's the most flattering colours and it's the most easy to work with colours. It just comes, I don't even need to talk about it because everybody's seen this palette, everybody knows about this palette, but it comes with nice bronze, golds, taupes, and then some darkers, and it just allows you to make very, very many neutral wearable eye looks, and that's why it's such a popular palette. The third one is exactly the same style as everybody knows, 12 shades, but it comes in sort of rosy tints. I love this palette. It comes with some really, really nice shades when you really look into it. The mattes are really nice dusty roses, and then you get these shades down here. The shades Trick and Buzz are awful. They're like chunks of glitter that just fall off your eyelids, but the rest of the shades are great and they're unique, you know, they're not like other neutrals because they've got that kind of rosy taupey kind of feel to them. Next is one of my most favourite palettes. I think it was the first eyeshadow palette I ever bought, and I would highly recommend this to anyone who's starting out with eyeshadow palettes. This was the best palette for me to get for my first palette, to be honest, and it is the Stila In the Light palette. As you can see, I've hit pan on quite a few. It's just a really nice wearable palette, and the shadows are so buttery and they blend amazingly. So in the palette you get everything that you really need. You get a matte bone kind of shade, like skin tone shade. You get a matte black, a matte dark brown, a matte light brown. Then you get some nice neutral light shades to work with, some dark like kind of bronzy shades. Then you get a really nice copper, and then you kind of get these here that just give you the option to go a little bit more smoky, a bit more dark, and I just love it. The quality of these eyeshadows is amazing. I think the palette's like £25, so it's really, really worth it, and I would strongly recommend it. One of my favourites. And when you touch them, it's literally like touching pure butter. They're so soft. Another Stila palette I have is from the same range, because they came out with 4. So there's In the Light, In the Garden, In the Know, and this is In the Moment. To be honest, I don't use this. I don't get much use out of it, purely because it's very purple based, and when I wanted it I was really into purples, whereas now I just don't wear them. I don't think it's a flattering colour on me. But if you like purples and neutrals, if that's your like forte, like you love neutrals, purples, get this palette, because that is what this palette offers. Now these aren't as buttery as the In the Light ones. I don't know whether that's because I haven't really worked with them a lot and worn like into them or anything, but they're not as pigmented, but they are really nice shades to choose from for purples and neutrals. Next are my 2 Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. The first is the Self-Made that has recently just come out. It's a bit bigger than the artist one. I think it comes with 2 extra ones. And it looks like this. It comes in a really nice, sleek, like flip over box, like the Stila palette. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like this palette. I ordered it because I love my artist one so much, which I'll talk about in a minute, but I don't like it. I just find the colours really, it's just not appealing. I ordered it because I thought, well, I love the artist one, so surely I'm going to love the next one. But the colours are just, I don't know what it is. They're just not, they just don't draw to me or anything. Like, they're just really mismatched. They just can't create looks. I've used it twice and both times I wasn't happy with the looks I created. I mean, maybe I just need to be a bit more patient with it, and I probably will grow into it and probably start to love it, but at the minute I'm not that pleased with it. I wouldn't really recommend going and get it. The next one I feel the complete opposite about. It's one of my all-time favourite palettes. It's the Artist palette. I love this palette because it comes with neutrals and colours, but it's colours that you want to wear. It's not like really bright purples and you think, I'm not wearing that, I'll look like a freak. It's like these purples, like this Punch Fuchsia. It's like a really nice, light, fun purple. It's so fun. And then you've got this really nice matte dark blue. I've never owned a shade like that, so that was just really interesting to me. Then you get Fresh. Like, look at that. I love yellow. I love yellow all over the lid with a really strong, like defined, dark, like bright, warm brown crease. I think that looks lovely, and it's actually really flattering. You'd be surprised how flattering yellow can look on your skin. And then you get Orangey Fancy. Love orange shades. Aubergine and Dusty Rose, those 2, oh, they are my life. I absolutely love using those to be my crease. Buttery, I just love this palette, and I don't think it's available anymore, so that's a bit annoying. But you know, the shades are all available, you can buy those separately, and honestly one of my best palettes that I've ever bought. Just look at that one there, oh, stunning. I just love that palette, and even just looking at them shadows, I just want to use them tomorrow. Because I love them. I'm just going to talk about this one briefly because I feel like I've spoken about this one quite a bit. Or have I? I don't know, I feel like I have, but probably haven't. But this is the Zoeva Cocoa Blend palette. I haven't actually tried any of the other Zoeva palettes, but in terms of this one, I'm very happy with it. It is a really affordable, great palette. The shadows aren't the easiest to blend compared to others, but for a first palette, for £15 you can't really go wrong. So it comes with, to me it comes with everything that you need for a first palette. You get 2 matte browns and a dark matte brown. That's your crease done. Then you get this shade, your all over lid colour. Then you get your kind of lid colours. You get this bronze, you get a gold, you get these dark ones down here if you really want to go all out there, and then you get like this really nice pop of colour, this cranberry colour that's just always there if you're feeling a bit daring, and cranberry is such a nice colour. So this is just a great palette, it's everything that you need is in here. I would really recommend buying it if you're looking for a cheap palette. My next palettes are my Too Faced one. The first one is this palette, I think I got this last December. I was in the Trafford Centre and I just saw it in Debenhams and I was like, oh, that looks interesting, and I never use it. Typical. It's this big palette like this. Too Faced sometimes offers like these. Just gives you like ideas of eye looks to make. It is a really nice palette. It's like a Christmas themed, so the shades are called like Snow Angel, Prancer, Cookie Dough, Chestnut, Twinkle, Chimney. Because Santa comes down the chimney. So it is a nice palette. You get some neutrals. You get this really bright gold. I think I'm going to have to start using this. But I don't know what it is. I don't think I've appealed to it because I have similar shades. So I don't really know why I bought it, but I just thought it was cute. And I didn't have a Christmas palette, so therefore I needed a Christmas palette. The next one is one of my all-time favourite palettes, the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. If someone said to me, hello, I'd like to buy a palette, a neutral palette, I'm looking to spend, you know, a good amount of money. This one, definitely. If you want a cheap one, go for the Stila or the Cocoa Blend. But if you want a really good, high-end, beautiful, chocolate scented palette, then you need to get the Chocolate Bar palette. But it's a really nice palette. The eyeshadows are great, they blend really well, and the fact that they smell like chocolate, it smells so good. It's amazing. So the palette comes with, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16 shades. You get a big like matte neutral shade and then like a sparkly one. Oh, my ring's sticking to it. I don't really understand why they give you big ones of these, because I feel like you use a little amount of these. I think they should give you like big matte browns and stuff, because this salted caramel here is such a nice light matte brown, especially for people like me who are quite fair. So I'd preferred it if they'd made that a bit bigger, because that is definitely going to hit pan soon. So in the palette you get 4 matte browns, which to me straight away is just a yes. You need your matte browns, you need matte browns because you need to define your crease. So, you know, I'm not even making any sense. But you get salted caramel, I can never remember the names. I think that's milk chocolate, semi-sweet, triple fudge. So you get 4 matte browns. I love this dark one in the top right hand corner. This one is one of my favourites, stunning shade. I don't even know how to describe it. It reminds me of like red wine, like it's like a neutral but reddy brown. I love that one. You get this one up here, which is like a purple, it's got a gold glitter in. This really nice one down here, which is like a matte aubergine shade. You get your golds, you get your bronzers, you just get everything that you need in this palette in terms of neutral. This is neutral heaven, and it actually smells like chocolate, so get one. This is some of the shades. My last palettes are MAC palettes. I'm not going to show you my big one because that isn't really a palette that you can go out and buy. This is like pre-made, and some of them are Makeup Geeks. I'm thinking of doing like a separate video on all my Makeup Geek eyeshadows and all my MAC eyeshadows, because they're not even all here. There's some in my drawer as well. I had this lovely little MAC palette. I think I got this about 2 years ago, and this is lovely for just creating like, you know, these palettes I think are designed to kind of create one look, but you could definitely go out there and create a few other looks, because you kind of get your all over shade, then you get your crease shade, you get your lid shade, and then you get these to kind of darken up your crease in the outer corner. And they're really, really pigmented. They're the Veluxe Pearl Fusion shadows from MAC, and I believe they do quite a few different shades of these, and this gold in the middle is a joke. Like, look at how buttery. These are definitely a lot more pigmented than the standard MAC eyeshadows, but that's because of that Veluxe Pearl, so they're really, really nice as Christmas presents. So yeah, I would recommend that palette as well. It's a really nice kind of simple palette for just when you're like, what should I do my eyes like today? And you just pick it out the drawer and you're like, yes, this little mini palette, I'm going to use this. If you like the video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!